variables in research methodology. Research problems range from simple to complex depending on the number of variables and their nature of relationship. The researcher must understand these elements to define the problem effectively and develop appropriate solutions. The key elements in research are concepts, constructs, and variables. They help in framing the study systematically. Let us see in detail. Concept. What is a concept? A concept is a general idea or an abstract notion that represents a phenomenon, object, or process. Concepts are the building blocks of theory and research. For example, education, poverty, and health are concepts in social science. Digital literacy, sustainable development, and climate change are concepts in environmental as well as technological studies. So, concepts can be broad and need further refinement to make them measurable for research. What is a construct? A construct is a specific type of concept that has been deliberately created or adapted for a scientific study. Constructs are typically abstract ideas that cannot be directly measured but can be represented through multiple variables. Just imagine the intelligence is a construct that can be measured directly, but it can be assessed using IQ scores, problem-solving ability as well as reasoning test. And one more example is customer satisfaction. That is a construct measured through variables like feedback scores, repeat purchases, and customer loyalty. Constructs are crucial for theoretical framework in research as they define abstract concepts in a way that makes them measurable. The last one is variables. A variable is a characteristic or an attribute that can take different values and is used to measure a concept or a construct in research. Variables also determine the complexity of a research problem. There are two types of variables. Independent variable, the variable that is manipulated or changed in an experiment to observe its effect on another variable. And second one is dependent variable. The dependent variable is an outcome or effect that is measured in response to changes in the independent variable. The challenges of defining a concept. A major challenge in research is ensuring that concepts are well defined and universally understood to avoid ambiguity or misinterpretation. Researchers must narrow down concepts by providing specific details and criteria for measurement. For example, measuring family income in a research, if researchers ask the participants to estimate their family's total income, different individuals may interpret the question in different ways, leading to inconsistent responses. So, to avoid confusion, the concept should be refined with specific details such as time period. So, how long this income should be calculated? Should the income be reported weekly, monthly, or annually? And the next one is gross or net income. Should the income figure be before or after income tax? And scope. Should it include income from the head of the family only or from all the members of the family? And sources of income. Should it cover only the salaries and wages or it also includes the dividends, the interest, the capital gain or any other assets the family owns? By defining the concept with a clear boundary, the researchers can ensure accuracy, consistency, and reliability of the data collected. The next one is the importance of defining concepts in research. So, as I said earlier, the concept should avoid ambiguity. Precise definitions help participants and researchers to understand the concept in the same way, ensuring comparability. Standardized definitions allow data to be compared across different studies. And to enhance measurement validity, we have to clearly define the concepts to ensure that research measures of what the concept is intended to measure. So concepts can exist at different levels of abstraction, ranging from concrete objective to highly abstract, that is subjective. So these level of abstraction and concepts are concrete concept, that is objective, which refers to physical objects or observable phenomena that can easily be recognized and measured. So, for this, I would like to say the table is a perfect example. So, table is a physical object we can see and touch. Tree, car, books, all have kind of tangible attributes. And the second one is abstract concept, that is subjective or construct based. So these are intangible ideas that do not have a direct physical reference but are understood through definitions as well as interpretations. For example, a person's personality. It can be pointed to directly, but it is understood through behavior traits. Such as intelligence, motivation, happiness. So these can be inferred based on indicators. So that's all about the concept. Hope you have a clear idea about what is the concept. So next we will move to what is construct. The construct is an abstract concept deliberately created for research or theoretical analysis. Constructs cannot be directly observed or measured, but researchers define them using specific variables. For example, emotional intelligence, which is measured using self-awareness, empathy, and social skills. Job satisfaction, which is evaluated using factors like work-life balance, salary, and job environment. And consumer loyalty, that is assessed through repeat purchases and brand trust. Understanding constructs and variables in a research are very much important. A construct is a broad concept or theoretical idea that forms the foundation of a research study. It is abstract as well as it cannot always be directly observed. Instead, constructs are defined in theoretical terms and are often used to explain human behaviors, attitudes, or psychological states. For example, intelligence can be defined as the ability to learn, reason, and solve problems. Life satisfaction represents an individual's overall assessment of their well-being. Motivation, the internal drive to achieve goals. Social capital, the networks and relationship that provide social support from constructive variable. Now, constructive variable. To study a construct empirically, researchers must operationalize it, turning it into measurable form, which is called a variable. A variable is any characteristic that can make different values. For example, variable can be height, measured in inches or centimeters, intelligence, measured by IQ scores or cognitive tests, depression, assessed using standardized inventory, employee age measured in years. So these are the few examples and what are the differences of construct as well as variable. So major difference between construct and variables are construct are theoretical and broad. For example, intelligence, happiness, and stress. But variables are measurable representation of construct, that is IQ scores for intelligence or cortisol level of stress. I hope you could understand the difference between a construct and a variable. So let us move to what is variable. So variables have operational definitions. In every research, variables represent characteristics or conditions that can take different values. However, for variables to be used in a study, they must be operationally defined, which means specifying how they will be measured, observed, or recorded in numerical terms. So the key components of an operational definition is measurement method, specifying how the variable is quantified using a survey, test, or a kind of observation. And range of possible values, identify the minimum and maximum scores, levels of measurement that determines whether the variable is nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio. So let me give a clear-cut idea about the levels of measurement. Nominal. So nominal level is the category without any specific order, kind of gender, marital status, and nationality. And the second one is ordinal. Here, the categories are with a meaningful order, but unequal intervals. For example, educational level and satisfaction rating. And the third one is interval level. So numerical values are given with equal interval, but no true zero or interval. So examples are temperature in Celsius as well as IQ scores. The last one is ratio. So numerical values are given with equal interval and with a true zero. So the examples are height, weight, and income. Students, I hope you got a clear idea about what is the concept, a construct, and a variable. Thank you.